Okay, hello traders. It's Tuna Pan here, founder of Master of the Markets Illustrates Conference and the Traders Open Day. So welcome to Market Blues. Market Blues is to help you be at the peak performance state at the start of the week. Okay, so today's topic is training the mind, 3 steps. So let's take a look at this. So let me just share my screen. Let me just annotate over here. Then you can take a look. Right. So let me just move this over here. Good. So training the mind, 3 steps. What are these 3 steps? Let's take a look. So number one would be first is discipline. Train the mind to be disciplined. Disciplined towards what, you may ask, isn't it? So Tiru, okay, that's good. I mean, we all know about this, discipline, discipline, everybody talks about this, but what should we be disciplined upon? Disciplined upon following your trading plan or your trading strategy. You see, in Master the Markets, especially in our Traders Toolbox workshop and all of that, in fact, in Traders Basecamp Package 2, we talk about your trading strategy in terms of quantifying it according to the 4 categories of every strategy, is it not, traders? So you have to remember that in terms of your entry, your initial stop loss, your trailing stop loss, and then your target. So once you've quantified all of that, you have to discipline your mind to execute it consistently. Okay, so that's the point. You only take the trades according to your plan and your strategy. And why is that? And you must keep reminding the mind that it's never about one trade. Train the mind to think cumulative. Okay, to think cumulative. Now, once you've trained the mind to think cumulative, that means the larger number, it's the law of numbers that will get you to your eventual profit. Then the next thing you need to train the mind is consistency, as I just lightly touched on. Once you're disciplined to taking only the trades according to your trading strategy, the next step is then to consistently execute it, okay? So that you do not get fearful of the past or the future. Just consistently execute it so that the whole thing becomes consistent. And this will help you towards your cumulative set of numbers. Let me just give you a very quick example. You see, if you were to say that tossing a coin, heads or tails, isn't it? Everybody says it's 50-50. But do remember, you cannot get to 50-50 just out of 2 tosses of the coin, right? Even sometimes, even out of 5 tosses. In fact, in Traders Basecamp package, we play this game. And it's interesting to see everyone really their competitive nature coming out and all that. But one thing I must say during playing the game is that sometimes even after 5 tosses, you might still get all hits all the way, right? But once you toss more and more times, 10, 20 times, 100 times, then this becomes more and more towards 50-50. So you have to keep training the mind to think cumulative so that you know the importance of consistency. Okay, the discipline first is to take the trades according to your strategy and nothing else. Then through that discipline, you train the mind to keep executing it consistently towards a cumulative objective. Then the third part, once you've done all this preparation and execution, I would say train the mind to let go. All right, because you've done your best, now you leave the rest and let the numbers do the talking. Because sometimes you see, for example, if you had taken a long over here on dollar Swiss, now you're seeing it going against you, but your plan is, to keep it, your initial stop loss over here, not to trail it until the end of the day. But if you see a bar like that, you get scared and then you start to exit it live. Now you're no longer consistent and you're no longer disciplined because you're not following your trading strategy and your quantified parameters. Okay. So these are the things that you must train the mind continuously, be disciplined, be consistent, and let go once you have done all the work that you are required to do. Okay. Now, how do you do all of this? Of course, there's so many ways. One is, affirmations is good, or visualization exercises. or continuous reminders even on your phone, or paste it in front of your desk and keep seeing it. Okay, so these are the 3 steps I would say to train the mind would be discipline, consistency, and letting go. All right, I think with that, we will now go and look at the markets. Now for today, let's see the markets. We'll look at about 12 instruments altogether. So let's take a look over here. So on dollar Swiss, the trend is up. Where would I say the open equity is? Open equity still is to the downside. I would say still a little bit more left to go. But on the other hand, you must understand that it is starting to looking to turn. So the first level of support it breaks is this. If it were to carry on further down towards open equity to the downside, and the second level of support is over here. But I would say if you want to short it, of course, be aggressive in your trailing stop and aggressive in your exits as well, because already showing signs of weakness towards the downside. Dollar yen, on the other hand, you can see that we did take this on the live trading room as well, looking to capture a turning point over here. Today, highly probably it might confirm. And but open equity, I would say once it confirms, is to the downside, at least to one of the moving averages to revert. Right, next, GBP USD, on the other hand, it's a bit here and there today, but in terms of open equity, it's been confirmed to the downside today. There should be a top coming out today. And in terms of that, I would say more open equity to the downside, but be cautious. The first level to be taken out is this low over there. Euro dollar, on the other hand, you can see over here, the open equity, I would still say is to the downside. It did take out support level, but it's a big of a strong reversal today. And in terms of that, traders, I would say that if it does take out the levels to the high side, then I would say open equity would turn to the upside. Okay, so let's be aware of that. Aussie dollar, on the other hand, you can see over here, still I would say open equity, this was the confirmation bar, is still to the upside, is still not turning around to confirm this top. It's a bit of a consolidation and a congestion over here. So I would say that if the first level, if we were to take out in terms of it's continuing in its direction, would be this level, and the second is that level. But if it does come back to its low point, then first level of support would be over there. Right, coffee on the other hand, I will still say open equity to the downside. GBP yen on the other hand, uptrend over here. Open equity still to the downside as well, I would say. Sugar, open equity still to the downside. Good momentum there coming up. Silver, open equity, I would say if this top confirms to the downside. GBP yen, I think we've already gone through that. Dollar index, on the other hand, what's happening to the dollar? It is weakening. And where would I say the open equity would be towards? I would say open equity is still towards the downside if first it takes down this level, second level to take out this here, but I'll still be cautious on the downside as the open equity is diminishing to the downside before it creates a turning point. Euro yen, finally, what we can see over here, it is looking to turn, but there is a bit of a retracement at the moment. But however, if it does confirm, I would say more open equity to the downside. All right. Okay, I guess that's pretty much that from our market watch over there. And remember and reflect on the 3 steps to training the mind, and also see how the week plans out to be in the markets. Until the next time, always stay disciplined, follow your trading plan,